Hello everyone and welcome to another video on my channel. This time I gave my attention to a wish from one of my viewers. He asked for an AWD setup for the McLaren 650S. However, since I don't like AWD conversions for rear-wheel driven cars, I personally wasn't too open to do it. So I went into Forza with a different video idea. I wanted to compare the performance of both drivetrains while upgrading similar parts such as the Liberty Walk body kit, wing, tire width and so on. You will see it in the video. I know that all-wheel driven cars most likely should have the same or nearly the same tire width on both front and rear axle, but since I wanted to make it as similar as possible, I even made this the same. I recommend you to watch me building up both setups because there might be some important things for you if you want to do the same test with a different car. After both setups are completed, I'll be back with the comments on the performance run on my test track. Until then, please enjoy. Now, let's get to the more important stuff. The fun part, the track performance. In the first couple of seconds you can clearly see that the all-wheel driven 650S is just storming forward, while the rear-wheel driven car has its traction problems. Even though those 385s on the rear axle should be enough. But I guess that the compound is just too bad or Forza Horizon 5 doesn't like it. I don't know. In this corner you can clearly see the biggest advantage of the rear-wheel driven 650S. The turn response is a lot better. But since it's that snappy, you can also have big problems when you turn in too early. Because if you get on the grass you can lose your traction and you can have a massive understeer moment or other problems, where you can lose much time or even the whole car. Now after the sharp hairpin you can see the all-wheel driven McLaren storming forward again and leaving the poor rear-wheel driven one no chance. I had to short shift from first to second gear to get the power on the street, and still I wasn't able to completely fall the throttle, as you can see on the green bar at the speedo. Speaking of it, that's a program called SimHub, with the combination of a little add-on from GitHub, named Horizon Plus. With it you can show things like tire temperatures, which are actually incorrect in my video, but also boost pressure, how much you hit the throttle, brake and clutch, and even much more stuff. I've put links in the description below. So right after the first imagined sector, you can see that the all-wheel driven McLaren took 1 second off the rear-wheel driven one. Most likely because of the launch, the hairpin exit and a little moment on the ground. Let's get to the second sector. Here I'm gonna let you enjoy the sound from the 3.8 liter V8 for some time. As you may have seen, the rear-wheel driven McLaren just goes much better through these corners. Again, due to the better turn-in response and maybe also due to the different gear ratio. The orange one rotates much better and even gives you the feeling that it's lighter. After the second sector you can clearly see that this was just a feeling. The all-wheel driven McLaren is just 0.3 of a second slower than the rear-wheel driven car. This part I've again made a little mistake, but this time with the right car. I really had to stay on the brake a little longer, so after I had such a moment with both cars, I think both time losses are now equivalent. Now in the city, on those small streets, you can see again that the orange 650S is way snappier, so theoretically it could be faster. But since both cars have a lot of power, I really had to be gentle with the throttle, otherwise I would have had a lot of rear spin. In the end, there's just 1 second of time difference between both cars. Mainly because this course has many corners where the all-wheel driven car has its advantage due to the lack of traction problems. On another track, the other one could be faster. To sum it up, it's just personal preference. If you don't care about 2 or 3 seconds, then you're fine. But if you care about it, then you should have a tune or at least a car for every type of track. In auto city circuits, I think that the all-wheel driven McLaren has its advantages. But on tracks with faster corners, the rear-wheel driven one is slightly ahead. So it's up to you what you pick. None of them is really better or worse than the other. If you enjoyed this video, please hit a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching!